Yo, yo, yo. Y'all heard the rest. Now it's time for the best. The hostess with the mostest right here. Your boy G Money. The Man Cave Sports Podcast. Let's go. Drop that beat.
Drew on the keys on this shit now.
All right. You already know your boy G Money hit those bets. I'm winning. I'm the host this week. Y'all lucky. Y'all lucky this week. Let me slide off my co-hosts.
Hey, what up, everybody? It's your boy Jae Jones, Mr. Cool Common Collective in the building. What's happening? What up, G Money?
What up, man? So you heard anything about Willie? He here with us today?
Man, I don't know. I put a PBA out on him, man. He missing in action out here in these streets, bruh. I don't know where he is, man.
Man. We down one already. Come on, Willie. Where you at?
I think he got caught in them truckers, man. You know, they got the truckers coming down in DC in the area, man. So he might be out there with them somewhere.
Yeah, he's stuck out there tonight. Well, we're gonna hold it down for him, man. We're gonna hold it down for him tonight.
On the corner somewhere.
Let's hop right into it. Over the weekend, All-Star Weekend. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of NBA All-Star Weekend. They do it right. They definitely do it right. We're gonna start.
I don't know, man. I need the NBA All-Star Weekend to come back to DC, man. I needed to come back to DC. It ain't been here since 2001, man, and I need it back.
I would. Did you make it out there when it was here?
Yeah, you know, we were in, you know, in the primes of our lives. You know, we were, you know, in our teenage, early 20s. But yeah, I made it out to the events. Of course, I didn't make it to the game or anything like that, but I was definitely at the little events that they had around the city. Didn't make it to anything major, but it was definitely cool. Definitely had fun.
All about the experience on those things, man. All about the experience. So
I was out in the 2011 All-Star Weekend, out in LA, but we'll jump into that a little later. I'll tell you about that.
Okay, yeah. LA, city of dreams. Yeah. So going back Friday night, Rising Star game. I'm be honest, I ain't really catch it. All I know is my prediction: Team Barry held it down. Cade Cunningham, MVP. What do you think? You catch the game, Jay?
Yeah, I actually did, and because last week we talked about not really catching the celebrity game, I caught that as well. So I caught both games. The Rising Stars game was pretty cool. It was pretty dope. I like the format. You know, of course it was All-Star Weekend, so they were allowing, you know, they weren't playing as much defense at the beginning, but as it got closer to the targeted score, they played more defense. So it was definitely competitive. My team Isaiah, they came up short against your team. And what's my man? Anthony Edwards, he just wasn't playing. He didn't play at all. So caught the L, but I liked it for the most part. I thought it was cool, and I thought it was something that they should keep moving forward.
No, I definitely like the format. It gets a lot more young cats involved in the game too, where instead of just a few of them. So that's really cool option he did there with that one. Yeah. Next thing they did, you know, they came back with the celebrity game. I definitely caught the highlights and see everything. Myles Garrett out there.
That was it.
Shaq Essence kind of thing. I know he felt like he was Shaq on that court with all those other young little people compared to him.
Hey man, he was out there just throwing it down. I mean, that's a freakish dude, man. he was out there hitting windmills and doing all kind of dunks, man. When he was dunking, everybody was getting out of his way. It was one WNBA player. She was in the celebrity game, and she actually kind of like swiped the ball from him when he was going up for a dunk, and they didn't call it, but I was kind of surprised that he was even challenged going up for, somewhat, but it was cool. It was dope. My guy Alex Toussaint won. I'm on the Peloton, so he's one of my favorite instructors on the Peloton. So it was dope to see him win, and that workout was crazy afterwards. But but it was dope to see him win it. So it was cool.
Yeah. Now, moving on to everybody's usually favorite night, Saturday. We got the 3-point contest, dunk contest, and the skills challenge. We did something different with the skills challenge. What do you think about that, Jay?
Trash. Like my man Bubba Dub from TikTok say, man, that shit was trash, man. I think they just were trying to do too much with it. I'm not a fan of the team component or the team factor of it. I'm not a fan of them they added too much shooting to this competition. Like they started off with a 36-foot jump shot, nah, man. And then as they were, I think it was one part of the format or one part of the game that they were shooting, and they didn't even have to make the shot to go to the next part. Like it was just, you just shoot it. And you could even hear D Wade. He was just like, man, just throw it. Just throw it up. You don't even have to go in to go to the next part of the competition. So I'm not a fan of that shit. They can kind of tweak that, or they can go back to the old format, maybe kind of switch it up the format each year. But nah, that shit wasn't it.
Yeah, it was definitely different this year. I can't say I was the biggest fan of it. It was cool. Giannis tried to put his whole family out there and put them on to get everybody on the league, and all those brothers can't shoot worth shit. That's just
none of them can shoot. None of them can shoot. Like the Currys, they can shoot. Yeah, the Antetokounmpos can dunk and rebound, but their hustle was there.
Their hustle was definitely there. That's something they do. They hustle their ass off. They got the length, and that's about it. We'll leave it at that.
That's it.
I love them on our basketball team because that's what you want. But we're gonna move on from there.
Yeah, like they like when they were shooting, I guess the tiebreaker, I thought Giannis would have took the shot at the top of the key, like, because that's kind of like his shot. Like, it's a set shot, he ain't got to rush it, but he let his brother shoot. That shit was that shit was terrible.
Terrible.
So I was like, yeah, Darius Garland and them.
One and done. Once he missed, it was like Garland's like,
yeah, he came up there with ease. Another thing I think they should do, man, I think they should go back to putting the women, man, putting the WNBA players back into it. They don't have to be in every event, but I think that they should put them back, in the skills competition or whatever the case that may be, man, just to add a little bit more fun to it. But other than that, yeah, that shit wasn't it.
All right, so moving on to the next big event of the night, the 3-point contest. So none of our predictions hit. None of them. Not a single one, because who else? The biggest underdog of them all.
Exactly. Old cat, Karl Anthony Towns, man. It was crazy it was sad because my guy went first, and I'm just watching him like, yeah, I probably should have went with Luke Kennard. That was gonna be my second pick, or I should say my third, because I picked Trae Young. But I don't know, man. The 3-point contest for me this year didn't really do it for me either. It was just kind of, it was like, it really didn't. I mean, I know the last round it kind of came down to, it was exciting to see Cat kind of go get hot. I think he made the first 2 racks, I believe. He got real hot, so it was cool to see that. But other than that, it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? For me, I was looking for a little bit more because, that is the best event of the night.
The best event. That's bold statement there. Bold statement. Cat's trying to be proclaimed the best big man shooter in the history. And he tried to kind of seal it that night. Like, not many big guys get to be in the 3-point contest with the best shooters in the NBA, supposedly. So
Yeah. And see,
he
that's
took
the
him
thing.
down.
Yeah, like Zach LaVine, he didn't really show up. Um, who else was in it? Trey Young, he was okay the first round. CJ McCollum, he didn't really do
Got
too
out.
much. Yeah, so it was like all the big name players, you know, they kind of like went out early, and maybe that's because they didn't have the experience or nerves. I don't know, but you know, it was just kind of like, But it was
Yeah.
exciting to see, you know,
It's,
Cat do his thing.
it's blatant disrespect to all the so-called shooters in the NBA that you letting the big man come in there and take your event. That's for sure. So shooters of the NBA, be on notice. Y'all better get in there and don't let big man bump you around.
Man, 20, he put up a score of 29.
Yeah.
Easy. Like
Now,
he was,
these numbers
yeah.
are skewed, I think, because they're adding these 3-point shots that are farther away. So like these old school cats like Larry Bird, he put up 28 in the finals or something, but his is, I feel like, more legit because he don't have that extra 3-point ball. That's extra 6 points that he can get on top of that. So we're looking at little numbers differently there.
Yeah, they definitely, you know, the game evolving. They keep moving the 3-point line further and further back, you know. So, but yeah, those guys, man, like I don't know, man. I don't know if they don't take it as serious no more. I don't know if it's just like they just want to be in it just to be in it. Cause I know Zach LaVine's been in it like twice and he hasn't been able to do much of anything. So I don't know, but shout out to Cat though, man. He came out there, man. He caught me by surprise. So
yeah. Hey, and I'll tell you what, I wish I would have put some money down on him. Like I think Dwayne Wade was talking about, he put money down on him or something. That's 13-1 the odds. You can't beat that.
And he shouted that out to Shaq when he won. He said, man, shout out to the odds. So man, it seemed like he was paying attention to everything that was going on. So
he was
I ain't mad at him, man.
All right, moving on to
we have to
best event of the night.
Oh man,
the dunk contest. Who doesn't love a good dunk, right?
Man, exactly. But it wasn't that night. It wasn't that night, bro. That shit was. Do we got to talk about it? We got to talk about it.
We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Now, I know I've been bashing this dunk contest since we've been on the podcast here. It's only been 2 of them, so not a lot of energy going in. But I started thinking about it, and you know, I looked back at it. It's hard for these cats to be creative because almost every dunk that has been performed already. So I kind of like what Obi did this year. He was creative. He had some dunks that we haven't seen before. So he definitely deserved to win that dunk contest. Now the competition, you know.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the first problem, right? It's
there's many problems. We're gonna get.
Well, yeah. So, but that's the first problem is that it's not getting the big names in the dunk contest anymore. So, of course, even if you go back to the last podcast when we were naming off the people participating in the dunk contest, who is this? Like, we didn't know half of a majority of the participants in the dunk contest. So it's not even getting the attraction that it once was. Now don't get me wrong, when Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon went back at it, or I can't remember who Zach LaVine first, but he was in a dunk contest before Aaron Gordon, I think. But he wasn't a household name, but he still put on a show. But like now, I don't know what you can do, but Obi Toppin, he had some creative dunks. I guess Cole Anthony putting on the Timbs was.
Oh my God! If you gonna put the fucking Timbs on, have them laced up. God damn! We sitting there just watching this guy lace up Timbs. Like I can go to any fucking shoe store and I can be watching the dunk contest by somebody lacing up Timbs in front of me. This is ridiculous. That's too much time.
He definitely had enough time. I mean he took forever to get them shits laced in, man. And then came out and then took about 5 or 6 times to even get the dunk.
That's the other problem with the dunk contest nowadays, man. Yo, opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and we are stuck watching them fail, 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 fail.
And it's crazy because you see like some of the, some of the older cats like leaving the game, you know what I'm saying? Like people just, that shit was just bad, man. That shit was bad. Then Jalen Green had with the NFT thing going on, like the chain around his neck. Like he had this super duper chain trying to do an NFT, and he had about 8 tries before he finally got it. And Juan Toscano, I mean, he tried, man. I mean, he tried to do the Vince Carter dunk, man, and that shit was terrible.
Yeah, it was just heartbreaking to watch that thing. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. My baby woke up in the middle of this dunk contest, and I was kind of glad that I had to go put the girl back down to sleep, because I would have been even more pissed having to sit there and watch that dunk contest.
And that's where I was. I was sitting there, I was watching it with my sons, and we just watching the game, man. And watching this contest, and we're just like, dude, this shit is just terrible, man. Like this is bad. We were watching dunk contests from the past, and he saw, the Vince Carter dunk contest. He saw the ones we were talking about last show, the 84s through the 86 contest. I mean, even the 2020 with Derek Jones and Aaron Gordon. He was watching that, and he was just hyped for it. And for that to come up and for that to happen, it was just bad, man. It was too bad. Now let me ask you this, G. What should they do about the dunk contest? Like, man, what how can they fix it? What can they do to prevent last weekend's or Saturday night's letdown? What can they do?
I mean, there's a bunch of options. I'll tell you that. You got to have a bunch of options, because what's happening is not what's good for the sport right now. One thing they can do is obviously, come out the pockets. Hey, we throw $1 million out here for winners out for something. Up that prize big time. Get these stars that, like, I don't care about a couple 100,000 or whatever. Get those big guys that throw it down. Hey, you know what? I could get a new house if I win this dunk contest type thing.
Yeah.
That's one option. I feel like you got I got another one, but I'll let you slide in for one of your ideas.
Man, so I think similar to what you said about upping the prize money, man, I think you get some of the G League players, man. I think you get some of these G League players that want to show off their skills and talent. You know what I'm saying? Offer that bread, like you were saying, and get that going, man. Because give these guys a stage that where they in a platform where they can do something. And I think I was hyped for Jalen Green because I knew he could jump, like he had hops. So that's why I was like, okay, I think he was going to win it. But I think if you put some of these G League guys in, give them an opportunity to make a name for themselves on the biggest stage, I think that's one thing that can possibly help change the dunk contest. Possibly.
I agree. I definitely agree. That's part of where my second idea is going, kind of thing, where, first goes my first idea, make it a big prize. And next thing, turn it into more like a pros versus Joes kind of thing. And I'm telling you right now, the pros are not the NBA players. You're bringing out these guys that do dunk contests for a living. Like, they fly across the world for a dunk contest to win them. They had a Netflix show, Pro Dunkers or something. And those dunks that I was watching on that, they were crazy. They were like out of this world crazy things that those guys were doing. You might not know household names, but you get those guys on the showcase, they're gonna show out. That's what they do. They put on a show, and get some NBA guys. They might be scared to go up against those guys, honestly, because I feel like that's why another bunch of guys don't want to be in the dunk contest too, because everybody in the dunk contest is getting ridiculed. Like, whew.
Yeah. And see, I feel like I thought Cole Anthony broke his thumb on one of those dunks or injured his thumb. I don't know if the baby probably got you up. You probably had walked away at this point.
I seen that one.
Yeah, but he kept like shaking his hand. So I'm like, I don't know if players feel like entering the dunk contest is gonna, they face injuries and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe that's the reason they don't want to get in. But I'm like you. I think if you add like a competitive edge and kind of put their pride on the line or their ego on the line, maybe, we'll get some of the big names to come out. I also think that you should change the format, right? Change the format of All-Star Weekend and maybe slide the dunk contest where the 3-point contest is, or shit. Maybe, I mean, you can't move it to the beginning because people still have high hopes for the dunk contest. So if you switch the 3-point contest out and make that last and put the dunk contest second, then you know everybody's hyped for the 3-point contest. So I think that's something else that they can look into, you know, possibly changing to at least until they get the big names in.
Yeah, and get more participants. I mean, you got four people for the dunk contest. You got 25% chance of winning this. Like back in the day, they had 7 to 8 people on the regular, and it just makes for so much better competition. I feel like.
But I think the reason they cut it down was because they felt it was too long, but I think that's because you also had more rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like you had like 3 rounds back in the day. 3, you know, you had to do like 2 or 3 dunks in each round. So I think you can still tweak the rules, like we were saying earlier, like all the like the ball wasn't placed right. Like if you get like 2 or 3 retries, like it's gotta count. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just keep retrying. You know, like we seen most of everybody do this last dunk contest.
God.
So you got to switch the rules around. You got to kind of adjust it. And the NBA has shown that they can make the adjustments on the dunk contest. You know, we saw the spinning wheel. You know, back in the day, we saw them have like dunk contests with teams on there. Where like, you know, I think it was John Wall, Paul George, and somebody else on the team. So the NBA, you know, they're known to make the adjustment to try to make the dunk contest, you know, what the dunk contest once was, but it's hit or miss, man. That's what the dunk contest is, man. Because I know back in, I think it was 2005 when we had Amari Stoudemire and Josh Smith and J.R. Smith, like it was okay, but it could have been better because of the names. You know, the names. You were like, oh, okay. You know, you had Birdman in there. You know,
oh God,
this shit was terrible. I don't know if you remember that dunk contest.
That was the beginning of the downfall of a dunk contest.
Yeah, like so. I mean, big names, big expectations. You know, I blame Dwayne Wade, man, because if he didn't rip off Aaron Gordon, man, you know, you might have seen them in the dunk contest again, man. You probably get more participants. I think that's also a thing that plays a factor into it as well. I think some of the judges that they get and the scores that they get, man, they're like, nah, like I'm not gonna jump in and get in the dunk contest, man, and I get this weak ass score. So I think a lot of the times, you know, they just say, fuck it, nah, I'm good.
I say that was one of the better things I feel like of the dunk contest this year, where the judges weren't giving out 10s and just
they couldn't. How was they have an opportunity to give out a 10? There was no dunk that had me like, oh shit, that's a 10. Like you can even see like the sideline, like you know how the players are holding their phones. None of them were like excited, like out of their seat. They were just like, oh, okay, like all right, nothing. So they ain't have an opportunity to throw out a 10. They didn't have a chance to mess this one up.
That's true. Ja Morant, if you're hearing us on this podcast, get up in there next year, homie.
Man, him, Mikal Bridges. If you get a healthy Zion, man, I mean something, man, something.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Please bring back the pride and joy of All-Star Weekend. We love that. We love that thing.
Did you see Mac McClung? Like they showed a social media highlight clip of him doing a dunk. I mean, boy was, man, nice. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. He's in the G League, man. Bring some of these dudes up, man, and let them do their thing.
I agree. We just want to show. That's what we want. That's why we watch it.
That's all. That's all, man.
Moving on to the meat and potatoes of the All-Star Weekend Sunday. The big game. Team LeBron versus Team Durant. Now, you and Willie both picked Team Durant, and obviously y'all had no idea what y'all was talking about, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think I'm like 0 for 8, maybe with the prop bets. I think maybe 1 on the Super Bowl I got right. So, yeah.
We'll give you one.
Yeah, I'm
It was
not,
probably
wasn't
about a
my
Titans
first.
thing or something. I don't know.
Nah. See, I'm not doing that today. I'm not going there with y'all today. But nah, I think it was with the Snoop bet. But yeah, me and Willie were definitely wrong on that, man. But we weren't off. It was a close game. So it was,
Agreed.
again, for me, they ain't do nothing, man. Like, now, don't get me wrong. Steph, you called it, right? You called it.
Wait, say it again.
I'm gonna give you your props. You called that one. You called Steph being the MVP, and he put on a show, bro. Like a show.
That was
That
the
was
show of the night, the whole weekend.
Yeah.
That was
Outside of the performance that they had, the halftime or the dunk contest performance with DJ Khaled, like that. All Steph putting on that show and then the DJ Khaled performance. Those were the two best things of the All-Star weekend.
And see, that's what makes the NBA different than all these other leagues. I feel too. Like they don't just have the game, they don't just have the contest and stuff. They put on a show. It's like a full-blown event, concert, all types of things. So that's why I got to give it to the NBA. The way they put it together is it's a great event. Great event.
It's a fun event, man. And I mean, I don't want to knock nobody in Cleveland, but damn, man, I just kept hearing people complain about the weather. Like, it was so cold out there, man. Like, people was like, yeah, I was in and then I flew back out. It was too fucking cold. But yeah, man, Steph is getting real disrespectful when he starts shooting these threes and turning his back before the ball goes in the basket, bro. Like,
oh my gosh,
that shit is real disrespectful, but it's so entertaining at the same time.
So entertaining. One of my favorite ones. You posted a picture about this earlier this week where he's in the corner there. He shoots it, turns around, looks at the crowd, gets the crowd. He's like, mouths it to him like that go. Did it go?
That went in.
I don't know.
It's a cold
Of course
ass
it went
picture,
in.
man. That's a cold ass picture. I gotta have that framed, man. But the crazy thing about it is, he does the same shit in the game. He did it in the game, so it's not like Steph just does it for the All-Star game. Like, he does that shit in the game. Like, that's who he is, and that's why he's one of the most exciting players to watch, man. Like, he's must-see TV, of course, but.
I was really hoping he broke Anthony Davis's record because I feel like that's what Anthony Davis is living on right now, and we're gonna get to him
man. Yeah, that's your man.
Top 75 though.
That's your man.
We're gonna get to him in the top 75. I don't know. We're gonna talk about him later a little bit.
Yeah.
But Curry he had multiple chances to break that record, and he just it would not fall down. I was like, damn, come on.
I know, man. The record was 52, and he had 50.
52. Yep, and he ended up with 50.
Yeah, man. I was hoping he broke it too. It only seemed fitting that he would break a record like that. And like we said before, you gotta blame Cleveland, right? The city of Cleveland. Y'all booed him. Y'all booed his wife when they came up there and did the little game with 2 Chainz and his significant other.
Oh my God, I forgot about that game.
Y'all booed him in the intros. Man, buddy, he said, all right, I got something for y'all asses. And lit it up, man. I loved it, man. I loved it. That's what you want, man. I was a little disappointed with some of the first time All-Star players, and maybe they just weren't trying to do too much. But I didn't really see too much from LaMelo or DeJounte Murray. Hell, John Morant had a few nice dunks.
Yeah, I felt like Ja took a back seat to a lot of guys that night. Definitely. I mean, he definitely had highlight reel dunks. He made himself known.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we need him in that dunk contest.
Yeah.
But
LaMelo tried to show out. I feel like he was jacking him up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't even want to see him shoot. I just want to see him pass and dribble, man. Like, I don't even want to see him shoot. I just want to see him, throw the oops and stuff like that. But, maybe because it's their first year, they weren't trying to do too much. But, I thought in the back of my head, after we had made the prop bets, I kind of thought that Darius Garland was going to get the MVP. I was hoping he would get it since he was a hometown kid, but he ain't really do too much neither, but
No.
it was cool. I would give the All-Star weekend, man, probably about a B minus C plus. That's what
Okay.
I would give it. The All-Star game, of course, outside of Steph, I mean, it was just kind of like when Steph was out the game, it was kind of like,
Get him
you
back.
know
Get
what
him
I'm
back
saying?
in there. We want to
Yeah,
see him shoot.
put him back in the game. You know, and Draymond called it. He said, man, it'd be crazy if Steph wins the MVP here in Cleveland, and voila.
Bada bing, bada boom.
What made you go with that pick? Just because it's Steph Curry, or just
Well, I feel he hasn't shown out in the All-Star game yet. He doesn't have that accolade yet. He don't have the All-Star MVP yet. So I'm like, you know what? He's too fucking good not to have one of these under his belt. And all he needs is a couple balls dropping, and they all gonna start dropping.
Yeah.
And God, he beat his boy Klay Thompson, who had the record of the most three-point made shots in a game at 15. And then at halftime, or when he was right there by the record, he said, "Yo, but how many shots did it take for him to get to 15?" They were like 24. He's like, I'm beating that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, man, that I mean, he would hit 16 threes.
16 3-pointers. That's
Man.
sick.
And Mark Jackson told us that they were the best shooting backcourt before they even got to this level. And I remember people questioned that, and I was one of them. But shit, them boys something else, man.
Yeah,
Shout out Steph Curry, man.
Oh yeah, hell yes. Hey, talk the talk, let it rain, walk the walk, shoot it, turn around, do your
Do your
damn
thing. Hey, I love it, man. Hey, I love it, man. You know,
that was amazing.
I love it, man. It's great, man. I enjoy watching Steph. Have you seen Steph live? Like, have you got a chance to see him in a live game?
I have not seen him live yet, but that is on my bucket list, to-do list ASAP. That's for sure. Because he's the third oldest guy to win the MVP award in the All-Star game too. So he's getting up there, I guess, kind of.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I heard him on a podcast and he was just like, you know, like he still feels like he's in his prime. So that's great to hear. You know what I'm saying?
I believe him.
Yeah, the way he's shooting him, you know, he definitely in that, and you know, definitely still seems like he's in his prime. I actually think they come to DC soon. I believe they come to DC. I want to say like March 8th or somewhere around that time. I was gonna try to take my kids to go see him because, of course, they're Steph fans. So trying to go see them earlier in the year. I was trying to take them to go see Brooklyn and Golden State, but yeah, that didn't work. But yeah, I'm with you. I gotta definitely go see Steph. That's must see TV right there.
We're talking about Cleveland there, and I want to also NBA the way they do the All-Star game, where either winning team gets wins money for their charity or whatever, also, and they win cash. Like the way they set that up is nice. Like the NFL needs to think about something like that to make it more entertaining and more like, it's all showing games first half of all of each one, but then when it comes down to it, it's like, yo, we need to win this half, we need to win this quarter, whatever it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl has a lot to change as well. I was actually thinking too, do they need to change it and not put it at the end of the year and maybe put it, but then I feel like even if you put it in the middle of the year, you're gonna have the same thing because players are not gonna want to get hurt. So I guess you do have to put it at the end. But yeah, they do need to add some type of incentive, man, and do something different, man. That shit is bad. We just need the All-Star game to come back to DC. That's my only gripe, man. That's my thing, man. I just needed to come back. I mean, next year it's supposed to be in Utah, and the following year it's supposed to be in Indiana. So
in fucking Utah. If they thought Cleveland was bad, they might be bored in Utah.
Yeah, man. When I was, like I said, man, when I was out there in LA, man, it was fucking fantastic, man. Like the weather, of course, was nice. You know what I'm saying? The vibes was nice. We were actually able to sneak into a Nike party. So I was actually able to see Kanye perform. I mean, all the Nike stars at the time, Amari, Kobe, you know, that shit was just dope, man. So, man, they gotta. I know they want to
imagine. I'm living through your talk right now,
man.
I was in the club right there with
you. It was, man. It was something to, man. It was something out of a movie book, man. Like that shit was. I see why the groupies, man, why they be getting out there, man. Like
I was about to say, you giving tens to the girls more than the dunk contest, or what was happening in the club over there?
The clubs, man. I mean, it was nice, man. I mean, it was LA, so you had a lot of uptight young ladies and stuff like that. But I was shooting my shot out there. You know what I'm saying? I was on my Steph shit. I ain't hit 16 threes, but I came out there. I was about 3 for 13 or some shit out there.
Let it rain.
Yeah, man. But like we was there when Blake Griffin dunked over the car. You know what I'm saying, and shit like that. So the clubs was nice, man. The vibes was nice everywhere you went. Like the hotels, man. Like you just seen mobs of females, man. It was a good time, man. So I feel like the weather in the city plays a part into the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like just look at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was sunny. All the stars was out in LA, and then they went to Cleveland, and it was just a totally different story. So
oh yeah. Now, I mean, we speak of Cleveland. We cannot mention the All-Star game in Cleveland and not talk about LeBron. Like it's his city. He did what he had to do, and what LeBron coming in clutch game winner? What is this?
Yeah, when it counted, but it didn't count, right?
Right.
But he was when I was watching the game because I got up a few times. He was clinking, man. He wasn't hitting nothing. It felt like he was pressing a little too hard. It almost kind of seemed like he wanted to win the MVP.
Oh yeah, but, he of course he wanted to win the MVP. He's in Cleveland.
Yeah, he's in Cleveland.
After Steph put about 10 threes, he was like, "Fuck, I ain't getting
Can't
this
compete
shit."
with that. Yeah, can't compete with that. So, but nah, man, like it was dope to see him. I mean, magical ending, right? He comes back to Cleveland, hits the game-winning shot. I mean, it was dope to see, man. Storybook ending. You gotta love it, man. So now, does Steph win the MVP? Does he win MVP if they lose?
Yes. That was talked about on the broadcast, and I would if Team LeBron would have lost, I would have been pretty upset if he still doesn't win MVP because how can you not win MVP with that kind of performance?
Yeah, and I was happy that LeBron actually hit the shot, even though I was going with Kevin Durant. Although he wasn't playing because he's the best player in the league right now. But
LeBron fans are gonna love this because LeBron his clutch, it's game winners.
In the All-Star game, right? Yeah, that's your argument in the All-Star game.
That defense is the defense is legitimate All-Star game, right?
Exactly in the fourth quarter. It's definitely legit. But yeah, man, that was what's up, man. I was happy for him, man. I was definitely happy for him. Definitely happy for him. So
going on from a great weekend and stuff like that and everything, we gotta move to kind of a little sour note, I guess we got to kind of say. We're gonna talk about Fab Five man Juwan Howard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we jump to that, did you see the picture of Paul Pierce, KG, and Ray Allen? Did you see that picture?
Yes, I did see that.
I thought that was one of the best things that happened in All-Star Weekend, man. Apparently, I guess they had a talk or something, but just to see those guys take a picture, I thought it was dope, man. But moving on.
I was a KG fan, so I love those big three guys right there.
Yeah, we missing the third part of our team. Oh, Kyrie Irving ass motherfucker. But that's all right though. But nah, man, you was saying Juwan Howard.
No, wait. He could be Kyrie, I guess, but I'd give him Ben Simmons because I'd take Kyrie.
Oh shit, yeah, okay. Damn. Zion ass motherfucker right now. Nah, yeah.
Let's slide back to the sour note. Fab Five, Juwan Howard in the news. If you haven't heard or seen the video about it, there's an altercation at the end of a college basketball game. It's Michigan and Wisconsin, and they're going through the handshake line and all types of drama. You can go this way with it. Who's in fault? Juwan? Is it Grady, or who's at fault there? You think? What do you think?
I think everybody's at fault, right? I don't think anybody did anything right. I think they need to eliminate this weak ass handshake line. They didn't do it in the midst of COVID. You know, they need to get rid of it. Like, I get it, it's sportsmanship, but get rid of it, right? Just because of this situation, right? So, I get it. Juwan Howard was upset that Greg Grade called the timeout with 15 or 10 seconds left. You know, what's his name? The Greg Gard said that he called the timeout because he wanted his guys to be able to get the ball up the court because Juwan Howard was pressing. So, I mean, Wisconsin was winning by 15. It's 10 seconds in the game. First of all, why are we pressing, right? Why are we even pressing at this point in the game? Second of all, why are you pressed to get the ball up the court with 4 seconds left? With 10 seconds left in the game. Bruh, get the violation. Let them get the ball. They're going to score or whatever they're going to try to do. They're not going to win the game. So why even call a timeout? Then the referee, I don't know if you heard this, but the referee actually told the Wisconsin coach, Greg Gard, he was telling them the rules in the midst of the time, right before the timeout was called. So he kind of like made the situation work or put the idea in his head to call the timeout. So I think it was all wrong. I think that, you see the video, you see Juwan, he really didn't want to give him a handshake. He delayed at the end of the game of giving him a handshake. He got up. I guess Greg Gard tried to explain the situation. He put his arm or his hand on Juwan Howard's arm, chest area, and you see them kind of just start arguing, going back and forth. I think Juwan got to keep a cooler head in that situation because at that point in time, the kids had already, or the young men, I should say, they had already went through the line. They had given a handshake. It just made the situation 10 times worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, man. You were mad, you were frustrated, you got morals, you're a man, you don't want to be disrespected, but you're a coach and you're leading, you know what I'm saying, young men, and you can't do that. Like, you can't. It was funny to watch in a sense because, like, damn, you see Juwan Howard, like, you see a coach smacking another coach, like, oh shit. But overall, I was like, damn, you can't do that, Juwan. Like, that wasn't a good look at all.
I 100% agree with you right there, man. Like you say, he's the coach. He's the leader of these young men, and you got to be the bigger man out there. Walk away, talk your talk in a press conference, complain all you want about him, talk their shit all in the press conference, like, yo, he's a piece of shit. Whatever you want to say there, you get fined for that. You're not getting suspended. You're costing your team possibly an NCAA berth now because you're not on the court to coach them the rest of the season. Now, speaking about that, he got suspended 5 games rest of the regular season. He can come back in the postseason if they make it there. Now, I don't know. Greg Gard, he ends up no suspension, fined $10K, and then the other guy, Joe Krabenhoff, the guy that got the bitch slap from Juwan, open hand.
Open hand, 5 fingers, say to the face.
Give me my baby powder,
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't even that bad, honestly. But he's the one that comes in there after the situation, after the coach has kind of been separated, where there's nothing else going to happen. He comes flying in there, and he actually is touching. He touches a Michigan player, and puts his hands on a Michigan player. So you're going to get that reaction from Juwan in the end because he was already pissed off, and now you're touching one of his players. So he feels he has to defend him, I guess, maybe. But at the same time, like you said, it could have all been avoided. It came down to, what, at the end of the game there, I'm pressing. I'm going to call a timeout. It's like, who's got the bigger dick out there almost? It's like, you want to be a dickhead? I'm going to be a dickhead and call a fucking timeout. And we're going to stay on this court longer. And it's just dickhead moves by both of them. And he got put himself in a situation to have this shit escalate to this. And it also cost 2 Michigan players and 1 Wisconsin player also got suspended for 1 more game because of what happened in the altercation. So we will see what happens.
Yeah, Juwan Howard, man, he just, as a player, you look at it like, damn, coach got my back, but it was more like the students had his back. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't fighting. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had started walking off the court until they got into it. But I mean, Juwan, he got into an incident. I think he got into an incident when he went against Maryland last year. He got into a shouting match and he had to be restrained. You know, so I just think that he just gotta, man. You just gotta sometimes just walk away, like you said, man. His temper sometimes it seems like it gets the best of him. And I know we're all passionate about the game, right? Like you want to win, you know, and emotions are high. But you know, again, you're leading young men. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep showing that side. You know, like you said, get in a press conference, go off on them, talk about how much of a dickhead they are. But when you trying to be the role model for kids, because you know that could mess up your recruits. You know what I'm saying? Like parents trying to, you know, you supposed to be watching over my child, but you on the court out here, you know, bitch smacking coaches and shit like that.
This is what I'm seeing, kind of thing. Like I don't want to
send
my kid there.
I'm not, like why am I sending my kid there? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm rooting for Juwan. I hope he's able to rebound from this. They're having a tough year, so hopefully, you know, they can get into the tournament.
Now,
and
I got a question, I guess, from those results of the suspensions, fines. How do you feel that was handled? Do you think it was fair? Do you think Juwan got the short end of the stick, or what you think? Let's talk about this.
So I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, he should be fired. He should be fired." That's bullshit. Number one, I do think that the 5 games was reasonable, right? It wasn't a punch. It was more of a mush, slap, whatever you want to call it. So he was supposed to get the brunt of that suspension, right? Or he was supposed to get the biggest penalty, I should say. But I do think Greg Gard should have got some type of penalty outside of being fined. I feel he should at least got 2 to 3 games because he did put his hands on Juwan Howard. And Juwan Howard did say that he felt like, why is he putting his hands on me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you putting your hands on me? Why, you know? So I think they both played a part into this brawl or this situation. So no, I don't think it was handled fairly. I don't think Greg Gard got enough punishment. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the victim here. You know what I'm saying? His man got bitch smacked, but you know, he wasn't. But like you said, he was putting his hands on players. You know what I'm saying? So they should have been suspended a few games themselves and took that fine as well.
Yeah. So. I think 5 games is I guess is reasonable. I'm definitely happy he should not have been fired. Like there were people calling for his head early on, and no, there's been a lot worse shit that coaches have done in the NCAA.
I mean, we know Bobby Knight's throwing chairs and shit on the court, man.
Bobby Knight, John Chaney literally choking on the
coach. I mean, he's telling people, players, that he'll kill them. Like I'll kill you on the court. And shit. Like,
so like,
come on, man.
I think it could have been less games for Juwan. I agree. Greg Gard should have got something more. And then honestly, Joe Krabenhoff, he should have got something too. You know, he's the one. He's actually touching another player on the other team. So it could have all been handled differently. Michigan not got the short end of the stick of it. I feel for the suspension because
of course,
in the public's eyes and everybody's eyes, the way the media portrays things, you know, you the bad guy, you're gonna get what the bad guy deserves type thing.
Yep. I mean, you had like you said, like in 2015, man, you had Georgia and Missouri. Their coaches got into it, and this was right before this. This was right after the first half, right? So they got into it. So it's not like this is the first time we've seen coaches go at it, you know. So to say that he should have been fired, I think this bullshit. But yeah, like this ain't the first time we've seen this before.
Now, jumping to the NFL, we got a couple headlines in the NFL. We're gonna start with one thing, kind of, you know, NFL XFL. They kind of got a deal. They're not working together, but they're kind of working together. So it's kind of weird here, kind of thing. Tell us what you know about this, Jay.
So the NFL and the XFL struck a deal over the week. The XFL to be the petri dish for football innovation, prospect development, and just they're supposed to be able to like try different like new rules and things like that. They're supposed to be trying to see if they can, I guess, like if they get new equipment, see how the equipment
Safety
works.
helmets.
Basically, yeah, safety helmets. Basically, it sounds to me like the XFL are just test dummies, right? So
Yeah.
they just like
Yep.
they're just trying out anything that the NFL may say, hey, can we try this or let's change these rules? Like, well, let's try it in the XFL first, see how it works, and then if it works, we'll bring it to the NFL. So they're experimenting with proposed rules, testing new equipment, but it's not going to be a developmental league to the NFL, from what I read. So I just
Yeah. That's what I got from the whole deal as well, where
that's nice.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a co-owner. I mean, Spencer Strassmore from Ballers,
That's my shit right there, boy.
Did he turn Ballers into real life and have his own fucking league right now?
Yeah,
Like,
man, that shit is dope.
what the hell?
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
And I think it's good. And I didn't get a chance to do it today. I meant to do it today. I think it's some things that the NFL can take from the XFL to make it a better league to a sense. But it should be interesting to see, what proposed rules.
I bet you the XFL overtime rules are going to be completely different than the NFL's. It's going to be college style.
Their shit is, man. So I was looking at that, man. Like their rules, their overtime rules are definitely different from the NFL's. So the XFL overtime rules, each team's offense will have 5 attempts to complete a 2-point conversion from the 5-yard line, with each successful conversion being worth 2 points. The team with the most points at the end of the shootout is the winner. If one team clinches a win early, the unnecessary remaining rounds of the shootout will not be played. 5 attempts.
Okay. It's like a hockey shootout,
Yeah, like so it's definitely different from the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like definitely, but the defense cannot score in the overtime possessions in the event of a turnover. That's part of the XFL.
You think Josh Allen would like those rules?
Man, any fucking offense would like them rules, man. Josh Allen, fucking Patrick Mahomes, yeah, he would damn sure love it. 5 attempts, man, from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I can't wait to see it. Like you said, one thing they also said, the NFL players, you can't like trade players in and out of the league, and it's not like, hey, I can just sign this guy from the XFL right away because they're not working that close together. So we could see what happens in the future about that. But right now, there's 2 separate things, and they're like, yo, we are in the spring only, and this is what we do. So
yeah, exactly. But I think they should change the kickoff, man. I think the NFL kind of lost its game with the kickoff, man. I think of course they're trying to play it safe because you had a lot of injuries with the kickoff. But I actually like the XFL's kickoff format, and I was gonna post this in our Facebook chat, the D-Man Cave Sports Podcast group on Facebook. Y'all need to go ahead and join if y'all haven't joined yet. But the XFL, so it's gonna sound weird, but you gotta see it. So on the kickoff, the kicker is gonna kick from his own 30-yard line. Every blocker will be lined up on the opposing team's 35-yard line. The return team's blocker will be lined up on their own 30-yard lines, just five yards away. The kicker and the receiver can be the only one that moves before the ball is caught. After all the blockers are permitted to move when the ball is caught, or 3 seconds after it hits the ground. So they all lined up, matched up against each other. They kick the ball. And then once the guy catches the ball, then it's game on. And it's safe. It's a safer format of just running down and just, hitting people. I think that's a better format for the NFL since they're trying to play it safe. And I think it also brings back the fun aspect of the kickoff. I mean, just remember when Devin Hester used to catch the kickoffs and just house them shits. Dante Hall.
Game
Yeah,
changer.
Man.
Game changer.
All these guys were game changers, and you don't have that anymore because everything is a touchback. Everything is, you don't have the opportunity to return the ball. And so they said if the ball flies out of bounds or if it falls short of the opposing 20-yard line, then the team will receive the ball at the kicking team's 45-yard line. Touchbacks will be a result in the team starting at the 35-yard line. So you still getting good field position. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of modify it, adjust it how you want to, but I do think that me personally, when I watched it, I said, "Oh yeah, the NFL could take this page and possibly make it work." So
now,
we'll
speaking about the NFL and things, we're gonna bring up Brian Flores again. So he was hired.
Birthday.
Huh?
It's his birthday, man. It's his birthday today, man.
Happy birthday, Brian Flores. Shout out.
Happy birthday.
So Brian Flores gets hired as the senior assistant defensive coach, linebackers coach. So like he's not actually like an official coach, right? Like the normal type of coach guy. So he gets signed on by the Steelers with Mike Tomlin. And obviously Mike Tomlin's been listening to the show. You were talking about him. He was saying
got on his ass. Pause.
What? Tell him.
So the first episode we was talking about the Brian Flores situation, and I kind of went on Mike Tomlin stating that he needed to hire more black coordinators and put them in the positions to be head coaches. And he has had black coaches on his staff, but he hasn't put them in a position to be coordinators where they could go and be head coaches. So he does now have a black defensive coordinator.
First time Austin. In 15 years. For 15 years.
Exactly. Now I don't want to just discredit. I mean, he had Dick LeBeau for a long period of time, but he finally has a black coordinator, defensive coordinator, like G said, so he can put him in position to be a head coach. And now he felt the need to bring Brian Flores as a part of his staff to help with that situation. And hopefully Brian Flores can, get into a coordinator position as time moves on, depending on how long his contract is. But I definitely think that's a good thing. It shows that Brian Flores is willing to start, from the bottom again to get his opportunity back as a head coach. So I think it was dope. But shout out to Mike Tomlin for finally. I know it took the Man Cave podcast to drop for you to listen. So finally, thank you, sir, for listening in and taking my advice.
Making positive impacts over here. We make changes happen,
Making change happen. So shout out to him for that. I think it was going to be hard for Brian Flores to get on a team just because we already know the NFL is dirty and grimy. They don't play a fair game. So, they got to make sure they shit is squeaky clean because he ain't afraid to air that shit out.
See. Yep. Hey, that's why he didn't sign the papers so he lost out on millions by not signing those papers. And shout out to the Steelers organization also, Mike Tomlin, where the Rooney Rule came in place pretty much because of that. So I don't know if it was them just like throwing a bone or helping him, or Mike Tomlin maybe realizing like, you know what, Brian, you speaking the truth, my man. Like, talk to me kind of thing. And it happened real fast, they say, where they went out to dinner on Thursday or something, talking, rapping, whatever you want to call it. Next thing you know, Friday, deal's going down right like that. And Brian Flores hopefully spit some knowledge to the man Mike Tomlin. Like, yo, look, you ain't had a black coordinator 15 years. I'm in the league. I have one my first year, and I had one my last year while I'm with Miami. Like, I'm putting people on. This is we got to make things happen.
Yeah, I mean, shit, for real. I think he was just in his car. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think he was on YouTube and he came across our podcast, real shit, and was just like, you know what? I don't know that young man, but he talking real shit. So let me go ahead, man, and reach out to see what I can do to help this situation and make this situation right. Cause you know what? I haven't had a coordinator, and shit, Brian Flores was voila. And
Hey,
he got a black defensive coordinator. So, you know, boom, there it is. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to like you said, to Mike Tomlin for finally making that move. Shout out to Brian Flores for even just, you know, accepting it and just, you know, willing to start over again. Like you mentioned, he didn't sign the separation agreement papers that Miami was trying to get him to sign. He spoke about that, basically saying that, you know, that's basically hush money. If he signs
yeah,
that paperwork, he can't speak on the Miami Dolphins,
for
you
two
know, and
years
that's,
at least.
yeah, for 2 years. So that's what they do, right? That's what the organizations do. When you have money left on your contract, they try to give you this paperwork so you can't speak bad. So he said, nah, I'm gonna still go out here and talk my shit. Y'all can keep that little bit of money. So shout out, man. I'm with it. We're gonna see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Keep sliding around in the NFL here. You know, we're going down to Houston. Yeah, your man,
H-Town.
H-Town, your man Desean Watson. There's a little civil case update. Like, let's before we get into him at all, is he even playing next year? What do you think? Yes or no?
I think he's playing next year.
Okay.
I think he's playing. Okay.
Now, if he's playing, is he playing? Will he be back in Houston or will he be in another organization?
He's so from what I've been reading, he's eyeing Minnesota and Tampa Bay. I know Tampa Bay's trying to trade for him as well. I'm not gonna say it, but y'all know where he could come. You know what I'm saying? But
if you don't know, he's talking about the Titans.
Y'all know where he could go, but you know, but I really do think it obviously depends on the outcome of this case. But I think that he will play. I think it's gonna be tough. I think whatever team gets him, whatever way this case goes, if he's found guilty and then they bring criminal charges up on him, then obviously he's not gonna probably play.
Yeah, he'll be out. He'll be out of the league if something like that happens. I think.
Yeah, and I don't think, and I was looking. I don't think any criminal charges have been filed against him yet.
Not yet. Not at the moment. Yeah. It's still a civil case where, and he got brought up where he's supposed to be depositioned or something like that.
Yeah,
and 9 of them. It was supposed to be 20. It was supposed to be 22, but his attorney fought for only 9 of them, and basically he's gonna get depositioned or whatever. And his attorney said that he's gonna plead the 5th this whole time because I plead the 5th. So
5th.
He ain't saying nothing because of where it could come into criminal charges later down the road and stuff. And I did read one little excerpt, like Houston Texans gave this man a piece of paper to give every one of these masseuses to begin with. So they obviously knew what was happening, and somehow this got leaked out. And obviously, once Desean Watson said, "I want nothing to do with y'all no more," this all happens. Now, I'm not coming out there and saying anybody's a liar. And if whatever happened to those ladies happened, they deserve the justice 100%. Right. You know, there's no doubts about that.
What was on the paper though? What, like you said, he gave him a piece of paper.
It was pretty much like the paper that the Dolphins tried to give Brian Flores. It was like a non-disclosure kind of thing. Like, you cannot speak about this or whatever. It's no negative impact on me can ever happen back kind of thing. So little shady things. Happy ending, shady things. You know, Robert Kraft knows about that.
Hey, happy ending Kraft, bro. Like, yeah, he knows all about it. I'm just, you know, I would like to see him play back in the NFL. I mean, because he's so young and he's so talented. But like you said, if these women were violated in any form, you want to see them get their justice. it's just weird, man. Like you said, like he went his whole college career, you didn't hear nothing. Even when he went into the NFL, you didn't hear nothing. As soon as he decided to say, nah, I don't want to play here no more, I'm not playing here no more, then this case pops up. So like G said, man, I don't know if y'all know what deposed means. I didn't know what it meant, so I had to look it up. That means basically he's just gonna sit in a room with both attorneys, both sides, and he's gonna get grilled on questions. And they're gonna have it recorded. So, like G said, that they can possibly use it, in a criminal case moving forward. So, but we're gonna see how that goes. I think his trial I think that's supposed to start in early April. So it's gonna be. Do you think he's gonna play next year?
Ah, man. The way things are going, man, I feel like he might get on the field, but there could be a situation where he might be off the field in a couple months or something too. It's a sticky situation for anybody. I'm glad my team don't need a quarterback as much right now, so we're not in that hunt. But he's caliber player too. And speaking about caliber players here, another big arm that's maybe on the market, off the market. I don't know what the hell's going on with these cheeseheads. Aaron Rodgers had a little IG post. Obviously, I'm gonna be quick. Aaron Rodgers is not coming back to Wisconsin. He's not going back to Green Bay. I'm sorry, you Green Bay fans, but he is gone. I do not think he's coming back, and that's my take on it.
I'm with you, man. I honestly don't think he's gonna play in the NFL anymore.
What?
My speculation, man. Like
he's gonna go straight to Jeopardy and be done with the NFL.
Yeah, man. Like he said it was a gratitude post, right? He's thanking everybody, you know what I'm saying? And he's got these pictures. I mean, we seen him with last season. He posts the last dance pictures and
we can't trust anything that comes out of Aaron Rodgers' mouth. I've been immunized. Yeah.
You absolutely correct, man. He'll probably I'm with you. I won't say he won't play in the NFL, but he won't be back in Wisconsin. But part of me feels like he won't be back. I don't think he'll play. Part of me feels like that too. I feel like when you start thanking people and thanking players and all that other stuff, man, you just like, man, I'm out, man. Fuck it, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna see. Like you said, we can't trust Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what he's going to do. I mean, I think just that within that week or so, he lost his girl. You know what I'm saying? His girl dumped him. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, I'm a superstar quarterback. My girl dumped me. What? Go get back on Danica Patrick. Come on, man. He's a superstar quarterback. Girls flying around that man.
So he might have just been emotional. You know what I'm saying? He talking
get
about
on the Bachelor with your brother.
Yeah, man. Dude. God. Hey, he don't like his brother neither, man. I heard they don't like each other at all. Jesus Christ.
Well, this is not the first or the last time we're gonna be talking about Aaron Rodgers, obviously, until
man.
So we'll be hearing more about him.
So he signs and says he's with a team. It's gonna be everything he does is gonna be like, oh, is this a hint that he's going here, or what does this mean? So it was just interesting. So now we'll see.
If y'all haven't heard the Man Cave Sports Podcast Facebook group on Facebook, check it out, search it. We there. Go there. We're going to have a March Madness tournament pool. So whoever picks the March Madness top 64, we're going to have a prize for y'all. More details to come on that. Okay.
Come join, baby. Go ahead, man. It's free. Is it going to be free?
It's free to enter. It's free to enter.
Okay, it's free to enter.
There will be some type of prize that is not free. So you're getting something that's not free for free. That's a hell of a fucking deal if you talking to me, man.
Hey, man, this shit's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. I can't wait, bro. I cannot wait, man. I can't.
Now, we've been talking about NBA and stuff, and All-Star Game was special. 75th anniversary. 75 of the best players in the history of the game. And obviously, when you come out with something like that, there's gonna be he said, she said, nah, he shouldn't be on it. He shouldn't be on it. He should be on it. Like there's a lot of talk about that since this weekend. I'll tell you, I'll put it like that. But can we all just agree? Number one is still Michael Jordan.
What are we?
Don't tell me no. Don't tell me no, Jay.
What are we going by? What's the criteria? Are we going by rings? Like what are we? I only say this because my man Bill Russell got 10 ring, 11 with one coaching. So what's the criteria? You know, it's easy because we grew up in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Mike, you know, influential people. I want to be like Mike.
So these 75 that current, former NBA players, coaches, GMs, execs, WNBA legends, sports writers, broadcasters, and nobody that was current or past can vote for themselves. They just had to pick 75 names. And all of those people obviously picked Michael Jordan. He was probably the most voted. Just to put that out there.
Yeah, and I mean, you know,
what does he do? He walks in as the last person, and he is in the middle of 75, and every one of those other 74, 75 people are looking at him in admiration in my eyes, and they know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mike, right? Like, it's Mike. What can you say, right? I mean, you know, he was even challenging players. Like, I think he challenged Magic Johnson. Like, bro, like, you got your shoes? Like, we can get this shit popping now. You know what I'm saying? But
there was a lot of talk where he was actually somewhere completely different at a NASCAR event, and people were like, "Yo, this is Mike. He ain't even gonna be there for this. This is what the hell." And then I guess he saw the guys, NBA players, playing cards, cash on the table in the locker room, and he was like, "Oh, what? We gambling?
I gotta be there. Get the jet, get the PJ ready." Nah, I mean, you can't. It's always gonna be debatable, right? It's always gonna be when they make these lists, like you said, right? Like, it's always gonna be what's the criteria, because main thing they get LeBron on is, oh, you don't have the rings. You don't have the rings and this, that, and the other, right? So they always say that. So I say, if we talking about rings, Bill Russell, right? But it's not surprising that Mike went number one. What's surprising to me is that LeBron went number two. That was more surprising than anything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. LeBron is doing his thing. He's in the moment right now, but LeBron was ranked number 2, 75th? Was 7? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the criteria here? Like, what do we vote? Like, what? And I know some of them were like, it depends on how dominant you were in your era and how many rings you won and the type of statistics you put up and all that other stuff. How was LeBron number 2? If that's what we talking about. And Kareem was number, like, you put LeBron over Kareem. I mean, it all. I mean, you put LeBron over Kobe. Yeah, that's a big if right there too. Definitely. So, you know, these lists, man, you know, they make them for us to talk about. So pretty much, and that's what we're doing. That's what we do. Yeah, we talk about it. I mean, you got LeBron over Bill Russell. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, come on. We're talking about the people who are on the list right now, but let's switch it up a little bit. Who is off the list? 1 or 2, maybe 3, I don't know, that you feel should be on the list? Great question, G. Great question. So I'm gonna go with T-Mac should be on there, Dwight Howard, and Kyrie Irving. And I don't know if I can agree with some of those. And I don't know if you watched, they had a versus match with T-Mac and Allen Iverson, and Allen Iverson kind of sparked this conversation. You know, he was just saying, like, why the fuck isn't T-Mac on the 75? T-Mac was one of my favorite players growing up watching. So and when you look at the list and see some of the players that's on it, and you're just like, how you gonna leave Dwight Howard out, man? He was like, yes, I'm 100% with you on that. And you know who I would be the first one to take off? AD. Like I
Like you put the stats there, and Dwight Howard is like head and shoulders and Shaq nuts above this guy, pretty much. Like it's pretty crazy when you put the stats out there. He's got a shitload more points than him. He's got about double the rebounds almost, double the blocks. It's actually mind-boggling. And you know, I can see why Dwight's mad. He definitely he should definitely be on that list. Stats wise, numbers wise, all the above wise, pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought about it, and I was like, well, maybe they put Anthony Davis. I mean, don't get me wrong, Anthony Davis was dominant in New Orleans, and I was like, maybe it sealed the deal when he got the ring. But then I thought Dwight Howard got a ring too. He didn't get it in his prime, but he got a ring, so he should. That's even more reason he should be on it, because, like you said, he doubled his stats and he got the ring.
Yep, like Shaq rule. Foul him and stuff. That went right in hand with Dwight, pretty much. Like, yo, let's foul this guy. He can't hit a free throw, and you know, he was pretty fucking dominant back in his heyday.
Yeah, I mean, he was the reason Orlando got to the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Anywhere.
Had a chance. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, you know, I'll even look at James Harden, like.
Yeah, he was one guy I thought about too, but like numbers wise, stats wise, he pretty much he in today's game it made it easier for him, I say, because his point, and that's where when you think of Tracy McGrady, we're thinking of those years. He had like 3 or 4 like top of the world years, and the rest of his career really hurt his numbers. Those last 3 or 4 years that he played that he probably didn't have to play or something. He was averaging like under 10 points and stuff. That where his career numbers is like 19 a game, and everybody on this list is pretty much above that everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, well, anybody, because you know you got some of the older players, like, you know, some of their stats are like 20s, like you said, but you got some that were like 13, 15 or whatever, but I don't know, man. And I even think Kyrie should be on there, man. I think. Yeah,
I'm gonna go hard no for Kyrie right now. Still.
Man, if you got Dame Lillard on the list, you gotta have Kyrie on there. You can name a few players over Dame Lillard.
That last 5 to 6 guys, they could all those are the subs. They could be subbed by whoever we're talking about right now in my eyes. Like. And Dame is on there. We got Dolph Shays, AD, Billy Cunningham, Dave Boucher, Dave Bing, Dame, and then Bill Sharman. Like those are the guys, because I've been trying to like I respect everybody that voted for this and stuff. And you know, I don't mind. It's hard to take anybody off because they voted in there. And all these old cats that obviously there's somebody obviously I haven't seen none of these guys play, some of them. Or whatever, and
a lot
of the younger folks than us definitely ain't even seen some of them play.
Never heard of them.
Exactly, it's good to have them on there, so people go look them up, check them out, see what they actually did, and understand why the history of the game, kind of thing. I think that's why they're on there a little bit, so I can respect it. But everybody wants to put these new cats on there real quick. I feel.
Yeah, like I mean, you got Giannis on there. I mean,
yeah,
you got Giannis.
The world's in love with Giannis. The Greek.
I mean, he got a ring. I mean, like, dog.
He's still fucking young, and yes, he's dominant as hell. But,
come on, man. Like top 75, though, man. Like
already, yeah.
So ESPN did its job. They came out with a list that has us talking, but you know, you never want to say that somebody doesn't deserve to be on a list, but you know, I will say it's some questionable, you know, names and some names that didn't make that list. So we'll see what the top 100 list looks like moving forward. So
hey, Tracy McGrady got a good chance at that top 100. That's for sure.
Bro, if he don't make top 100, man, I'm gonna feel some kind of way.
And you know who else is gonna be on that top 100?
Who?
Luka. Luka will be on that top 100.
And him, Joker, he's gonna be on that list too.
Yep. If he keep balling like the way they're doing, those guys can definitely join the list. That's for sure. I don't have many. I told you my one replacement, Dwight Howard, pretty much. I think he should be on the list. Tracy McGrady, he's a beast. I love watching that man play. That's for sure. And I guess one other guy. I guess if we talk about all them and stuff, Grant Hill, right? Like, could he be on it? Penny Hardaway, maybe?
I think they both can be on it. I think they can. But similar to T-Mac, the injuries played a huge part.
I know Grant Hill's injuries definitely hurt him.
That's a huge hurt. I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, just kind of like, and again, I don't want to take a shot at like Dame or anybody like that, but it's just like, you think about the impact. Shoot him up. Yeah, I mean, it's a different game. So, Grant Hill, Penny, those guys. I mean, hell, you can even say Alonzo Mourning. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I love me some Zoe.
Yeah, man. Like, it's a lot of names that were left off that, could be added. So we gonna see how that rolls out, man. How that goes with the top 100, man. But,
all right. We moving on. We might revisit this 75 again another time. We
will.
The missing piece of us, Willie ain't got no speak on this yet, so who knows?
Yeah,
he might have something come up next week for us.
Yeah, we gotta show up though. You gotta show up though.
Show up.
Not on the Zion
That's
shit.
The game.
Hey, speaking of Zion, man, what you think about him? The
Speaking
CJ
of showing up, right?
Yeah, speaking of showing up. With CJ McCollum made the statement saying that he hadn't spoke with Zion since he had been traded, and then Zion speaking on him or reaching out to him after those comments came out like a day or two later.
I think that's fucking wild, man. If you the big dog in New Orleans, they're building around you supposedly, and they're bringing in a little legitimate all-star, pretty much legitimate score threat. CJ McCollum to be your right-hand dog, you're Robin pretty much. And you don't reach out to him. You don't be like, yo, welcome to the city. Yo, I can't wait till we get together. It don't even gotta be real, nothing spectacular. You ain't gotta write no goddamn paragraph, right? Like, yo, check me out, Nola. I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you. I'm rehabbing. I'm hurt. Whatever you need to say. I can't make it to the club tonight. I got to do this. Make some shit up.
Just the general, the bullshit, statement. Hey man, let's go grab some food. Well, no. Well, let's meet up. You know what I'm saying? Let's meet up, man. Let's just, like you said, man, welcome to the city, man. If you need anything, let me know. I can show you around town, this, that, and the other. But yeah, I thought that was kind of like, damn, man. I didn't think it was a good look for Zion. He's already being dragged through, through the mainstream media about how he's handling the situation in New Orleans. So, I just hope that Zion can get his situation together. He's able to get back on the court, ball out, do his thing, but
JJ Redick let it be known recently too. He wanted his fam. JJ, he's like, look, that's what Zion is. He's saying, quote for quote, he is not a good teammate type guy. And he does not go out there. It's wild, but hopefully,
not a good look, man.
I'm a fan of Zion myself. I need him on the court because that boy, he's like from Space Jam, he's a monster. He's a beast.
Yeah. He showed us that in the little bit of time that he played, the little window that he played, he showed us that, I really don't think that he'll be in any dunk contest, but as much as we would like him to be, I don't think he will. But just to get him back on the court is just a plus factor within itself. So we're gonna see how this situation shake out in New Orleans, and hopefully they can work it out. But
so
get it together, Zion.
Yeah, we can. You want to go here, LeBron, or you want to go happy note? What you want to go first here? I'm gonna throw it at you. What you want to do?
What we got with LeBron? I know he's trying to play with his son. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
He
pretty
found a
much
way
what it
with a
comes
son.
down to. He's very vocal about that. He's like, I'm gonna play with Bronny, pretty much. So that's put a notice to every single GM out there. I feel like that's like, I mean, is that tampering even? You know, could that be tampering technically? Like, I don't
Um,
know.
that's it's definitely gonna. I'm stuttering. I definitely know it's gonna make Bronny's stock go up. It's gonna make his draft capital 10 times higher because they're like, well, shit. If we get Bronny, we gonna get LeBron. So
Yeah.
I definitely think it's gonna happen. It's gonna be good to see Bronny play in Greece and see LeBron overseas playing international. So, I think
Oh.
from what from what I've heard and from what I've seen, I think Bronny will be a second round pick. So, unless he does anything else,
How old is Bronny right now? Let me,
I think he's
you know,
I think he's a junior,
junior
I
high
believe.
school.
Yeah. I think he's a
Okay.
junior. But hold on, we can, we got
So he's
Google.
he's got time to mature and everything. So is LeBron trying to set this up where him and his son will be the first ever number one picks type thing? Is that what
Oh,
he
he's not.
really trying to set this up?
He's not going number one.
He's not going number one. He got no chance of that. Okay. Hey.
I don't want to say no chance, but I mean, I think it's a far stretch. But I definitely do. It'll be if that happens. Hey, kudos, man. It's congrats.
That would be
Yeah,
something
Bronny,
spectacular.
he's 17. He's 17.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Sound like a junior then.
And
All right. We
LeBron,
might revisit this in a couple years. We might have to bring this episode back and rewind.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And Jay's quoted as never number one pick.
Yeah. The number one. It's
Well, I mean, will teams want him in 4 years? You know, will team wants LeBron in 4 years? I'm saying, you know.
I think teams will still want him. I think just his experience and wisdom on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think just to be in a locker room. I mean, LeBron ain't gonna do what he's doing now. I don't think. I don't know. Hey, I don't want to put anything past LeBron.
I agree. Props to LeBron. He is turning into like an ageless wonder almost. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't like LeBron at super official like everybody else loves the man, but props to him. He is still putting in work late in his career, and he's been in since high school. So he's got a head start on folks. But whatever you want to say, that many years in the game is that many years in the game. It's not easy.
So I think Bronny should be getting ready to come out within the next year or two. So LeBron signs 2-year deals. So I think it'll definitely happen. It'll definitely happen. We'll have a prop bet, I'm sure, if Bronny will go number one, and hopefully we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we'll see if I still have that same stance.
Speaking of signing deals here, the U.S. national women's soccer team actually finally got their deserved deal.
Congrats, and finally.
Was it a coincidence? On 2/22/22, they got paid $22 million plus a $2 million bonus.
Hey, I like how you did that right there.
Is it a coincidence? How did I like?
It sounds like it.
They saying they could have got more possibly, but that's still a huge step for the women's team. What you think about that?
I think it was great. I think it was good for women's sports. I know the first episode, again, we spoke about the WNBA them being invested in as well. So I think this is great for women's soccer. Like you said, they were seeking to get 66 million. They didn't get that, but they were still able to get, a nice chunk of change. I think they got equal pay. And I think that's what they were mainly fighting for. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at the numbers between the men and the women, the contract, the bonus structures, it was just so lopsided. And for them to finally be able to get that. So, they were, the men and women were under two separate deals. So the men had a deal that was called like the pure pay to play model, which they were compensated only if they were on the national team or in a national team camp, and they earned additional money if they played in the games. And the women, they were under a hybrid system. So 16 players were signed to full-time contracts, of $100,000 per year. And they got paid, if they were in training camp or even if they were injured, they got paid. But the other women, they were on non-contract. They were called non-contract players, and they just got paid when they got called onto the team or when they were playing games.
To be honest, the U.S. women's national team brings a lot more gold. Exactly.
It's better. It's better. Point blank. It's better. They're better than the men.
They deserve every fucking penny they got. That's 100% fact.
And so the bonuses I heard is what they were really fighting for, because that's where the discrepancies come. Because the men players, they would make $67,000. The women would make $37,000. If the men's team beat a top 25 team, they would get $9,000, and if they lost, they would get $5,000. And if the women, if they won against the top 18, they would get $5,000 and nothing for a loss. So the men were getting basically what the women were getting for a loss. You know what I'm saying? But they were bringing more revenue, and they're a better team than the guys. So I think it's a great look. I think it's a good look for them. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for women's sports. So definitely congratulations, man. And keep fighting, man. Keep fighting for that equality.
Yep. Hey, let's close it out here. Episode 3 in the motherfucking books. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. If you don't know, we on Insta. You can see us 613 Faye at 613 Faye DMV. On Twitter at 613 Faye. You can find us on Facebook 6/13 Faye Productions. Hey. Search us on YouTube at 613 Faye, the Man Cave Sports Podcast.
Big.
Me, Man Cave Sports Podcast. Listen.
Hey, hey, live life, live, love, laugh, and enjoy sports. We're gonna holler at y'all. Willie should be back.
Willie should be back. Hey, you can find me at G Money Caveman on Twitter. We could.
Yeah. I'm Yo Chill J on Instagram, and I'm at on Twitter. I'm at October's Own. So holla at me on those two right there. Like I said, join the Man Cave Sports Podcast group on Facebook. See some of these topics that we talking about, and we're gonna holla at y'all, man. See y'all next week.
Ride me out, Silk.